If saving alone worked, why are so many of us still living paycheck to paycheck?
What if everything you were told about building wealth was incomplete?
What if I told you that saving alone would never make you wealthy? But if you save 20% of an average salary, check this out, it would take you over 100 years just to hit a net worth of $1 million. Then instead of for spending every dollar that we get, we turn a portion of that money back around to work for us. We're going to talk about the real wealth formula, and this is going to be a little different from what the other financial gurus and the other financial influencers are going to teach you.
Today, Anthony O'Neal breaks down the mindset, the formula, and the faith-driven strategy he believes actually builds wealth, not just to survive, but to leave a legacy.
Listen, family, I'm going to be real with you. 2025. I was really big on telling you to stop spending, cut back, look at your budget, cut all your subscriptions and save. And that was crucial, I believe, for a season. But I want to pivot a little bit and I want to ask you this question, because now it's going to sound like I'm about to contradict myself, but this is not contradiction. It is actually me getting to the next level for us. If saving alone worked, why are so many of us still living paycheck to paycheck? Let me ask that question again. If we just cut everything and we cut half of our subscriptions and we start looking at our budget and we start saving more, why are still the majority of people living paycheck to paycheck? And as I was sitting back and I was thinking about this thing, and I said, and as we're in 2026, Anthony, we got to step up the game and get people to go from paycheck to paycheck to wealth to financial freedom. Two options. So today I'm going to give you a different kind of playbook. I'm going to give you a playbook that I really follow. And this is like the 22 to 25% rule that I believe will change your life in 2026. It will help you to start building legacies and letting faith-driven families prosper with purpose. So if you're tired of surviving, this is going to be for you. This is going to be for you. Actually, this year, 2026, is going to be for you. What if I told you that saving alone would never make you wealthy? Yeah. Saving alone, getting out of debt, and just putting your money underneath your mattress, in a shoebox, or in a high-yield savings account alone is not going to make you wealthy. Here's why. You can only cut so much, family, but you can always grow your income and invest. See, I used to be this frugal guy, and the frugality trap is when you believe cutting back is the only way to get ahead. But the math ain't mathing. The math doesn't lie. I'm going to have Ed put this up on the screen some kind of way. He'll figure it out. But if you save 20% of an average salary, check this out, it will take you over 100 years just to hit a net worth of $1 million. Even if we double that at 40% of the average salary, you're still looking at 80 plus years to have $1 million inside of your investment portfolio. Instead of obsessing over every dollar you spend, I need you to start asking yourself, how can I make my money work for me? Come on now. I'm feeling good. We in 2026, baby. How can we start exchanging our time for money And then instead of for spending every dollar that we get, we turn a portion of that money back around to work for us and to work harder than what we are doing, as in harder than what we're working. I got to calm down. I'm getting excited about this. You see, when you stop shrinking your life and start expanding your future, everything changes. So if saving isn't the answer, Ayo, what is? If just paying my bills and putting everything in savings and living a frugal life is not the answer, Ayo, what is? Because 2025, you had me confused. Well, no, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to confuse you. I was trying to help you lay a foundation. Because getting out of debt and having an emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of your net pay, is the foundation, but that's not wealth. Getting out of debt is the foundation of financial freedom. Accumulating assets is the next ingredient. Having 3 to 6 months of net pay is not wealth. That is margin, so you have room to breathe when life happens and it doesn't stop you from building wealth. So, Anthony, what is the answer? On today's show, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the real wealth formula. And this is going to be a little different from what the other financial gurus and the other financial influencers are going to teach you. Because as I'm growing spiritually and practically, as I'm growing in my words spiritually, and as I'm growing from a practical perspective because of the great times that I'm having and the expanding of my knowledge at Regent University, I'm seeing things differently. And I want to start off here. What do millionaires know that most of us don't? I'm going to ask that question again. I'm going to pause it right there while I drink some of this vitamin C. Building credit the traditional way is slow and confusing, and most credit cards want you to rack up debt just to boost your score. You see, I used to think that you had to choose between staying debt-free or having a good credit score. But, here's what I've discovered. There's actually a way to build credit without any credit checks, without going into debt, and without paying crazy interest fees. And it works faster than I thought possible. See, my friends at Kickoff, they are the truth. They are doing something different. They help you build credit the right way without the debt trap. I've seen people go from no credit to a 700 plus score using their system, and they did it completely debt free. Say it one more time. Completely debt free. Over 150,000 people have left 5-star reviews on the App Store. Users see an average of 34 points increase in their credit score. Some even see, watch this, up to 84 points within the first 12 months. These aren't just numbers. These are real people getting approved for homes and getting better interest rates. Here's the truth. Every month you wait is another month of paying higher interest rates on everything. A good credit score can save you a lot of money, thousands on a mortgage, hundreds on car insurance, and even help you skip the security deposits. Don't let bad credit cost you money. I want you to visit anthonyoneal.com/kickoff right now to get started for as little as $1 on your first month. I want you to build credit the debt-free way because your future self will thank you. What do millionaires know that the majority of Americans, average Americans, do not know? Let me tell you. They focus on growing the left side of the equation. You see, wealth equals income minus expenses. Wealth equals left side, income minus expenses. You see, most people spend all their energy on cutting expenses. And for a season, that is important because we should get our expenses low, because if we can have our expenses lower than our income, that creates margin. But most of us spend all of our energy on cutting expenses. But wealthy people, but net worth millionaires, you see, they multiply income, side hustles, digital products, real estate, investing, upping their skills. getting assets, accumulating assets and not liabilities. To go from where we are now to where we are going to go tomorrow, to go from paycheck to financial freedom, to wealth, to generational wealth, we got to start with one income stream. You see, in 2025, 62% of African Americans under the age of 45 had a side hustle. The majority of African Americans, if you go ask 10 friends, 6 out of 10 of them will have some form or fashion of a side hustle outside of their 9-to-5 job. And what we're also learning as I'm in school, AI-powered money tools make it easier than ever to automate, to invest, and to grow. That's one of the main reasons why I highly suggest SoFi when it comes to investing, because they are using tools like AI to automate your investing and to tell you where the best ETFs, index funds, mutual funds, et cetera, et cetera. We'll make sure to link them below. So you're not just working for money, you're building assets that pay you and your children's children. But there's one rule that ties it all together. And it is the key ingredient most millionaires I subscribe to, right, are doing, but it's the key ingredient that a lot of millionaires leave out. What if I told you the best wealth key ingredient isn't just about money? No, it's not just about how much money you have. It's not. Over the last 5 years, I've had the opportunity to build a multiple 7-figure business and have staff members and pay them 6 figures and be able to build my 7-figure plus portfolio. And when I sat back at the end of 2025 and I asked myself this question, I said, Anthony, what has been your key things over the last going on 5 years now that allowed you to go from where you were? And I'll be transparent. I think the most I made in my previous situation was right around $300,000 to $400,000 in 1 year. What made you go from $300,000 to $400,000 a year to now you're averaging a couple to multiple 6 figures a month? What you were making in a year, you're doing that several times a year throughout the year. I would say I say about 2 or 3 months throughout the year, but on average we'll do right around a couple $100,000 a month, right? What is it, Anthony? And when I started asking myself and talking to my mentors and talking to some of my business friends, this is what I realized that has helped me, that can help you. I have faith and I have action. I have faith and I have action. I'm not just working like a Hebrew slave from 8 to 5 p.m. I'm not just getting all this money and keeping it all myself. No, I got faith. I've dialed in spiritually, still flawed. Still God is working on me. But I've really activated the faith component of who I am. And I hold my company and my teammates to Christian values. We all fall short. But at the core of who we are, we operate off of Christian values, off of faith values, and not just have faith, but we have action. You see, almost half of Christians, families, now say tithing and giving are core to their wealth plan. So when I sit down and I'm interviewing Christian millionaires, one of the key things they have told me personally, to my face, to my ears, is that, Anthony, I want to say this up front, bro. I know y'all be looking for, hey, this is the best investment. This is the best overnight thing. But man, it was God. It was just me being generous and me tithing and me just giving. So I want you to write down this 22 to 25% rule. Inside of In the Black community, inside of the escape plan. And moving forward, you're going to hear me say 22 to 25% rule. Off top, we should be giving away at least 22 to 25% away of our check. The very first 10% is going to be to God, back to God, tithe, offering. And I want to challenge y'all here. Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm going to step out on a limb here. I said tithe. I didn't say give your money to the homeless. I want you to be a blessing to the homeless. I do. And I want to say this too. When we are a blessing to others, God will reward us. But there's something different. It activates something different when you can say, God, you gave me 100, but here's $10 back to you. Because the truth of the fact is all 100 is yours anyway, sir. So thank you for trusting me with 100, but here's $10 back. Thank you for trusting me with $1,000, but here's $100 back. God, thank you for trusting me with that. But before I pay anybody else, before I pay myself, before I take my girlfriend out, before I go buy a name brand, before I go pay Citibank, Wells Fargo, before I go pay the mortgage company, car note company, before I go pay Louis, Gucci, you name it, God, I want to thank you for trusting me with what you've given me. God, I right now, last year, 2025, 350,000 African-American sisters lost their job. But for some odd reason, God, while you're taking care of them, you allow me to keep mine. Thank you, God. Here's 10% back. You see, to me, that is the key reason why my company went from 7 figures. Because if I could say this in a respectful way, there's no way in the world my company should have made 7 figures within 1 year, within the first 3 years of me stepping out on my own. There's absolutely no way. But through faith, through creativity, followed by execution, and saying, God, I'm going to trust you. Here's 10% back. I don't know how I'm going to do this. God just started working miracles because he saw the faith in action. So the first 10% of the 22 to 25% rule is give 10% back to God. Find you a local church. Put that into a local church as a tithe. You want to be a blessing to homeless people? Man, do that on top. You see someone in need? Man, do that on top. But I want you for 2026 to try God this year. And if you are, I want you to put in the comment section right now, I'm going to try God all year. Because I believe a lot of you all have tithe, but you haven't done it on a consistent basis. But we're asking God for consistent blessings. Oh! We're asking God to consistently answer our prayers, provide miracles, and to bless us and to bless our families, but we can't be consistent with him. So 2026, that's the first thing. The next 12 to 15% is into investments, y'all. Simple. Bare minimum. I want you investing bare minimum 12% to the max 15%. That's your first 22 to 25%. Before you pay bills, before you flex, before you do anything, before you plan for a vacation, before you go out to dinner, that's what you are going to do. I want you to automate your tithe and your investments. Set up auto transfers, auto tithing, and auto investing. Use the tools, use the AI tools inside of SoFi investment, and make sure that you're investing all the time, every single day. As a matter of fact, check out this quick commercial about the best investment platforms you can check out. Listen, family, I need to share something important with you before we get back to today's show. Now, you all know I've been talking about investing platforms, and I just made a major move. I've actually transferred all of my investment funds from Moomoo to SoFi Invest. Yes, I sure did. Look, I'm about to give you 3 solid options to choose from. You've got SoFi, Public, and yes, Moomoo is still on the list. But let me be real with you up front. SoFi is honestly, it's where it's at. Why? First, it's incredibly easier to use. No more complicated interfaces. Second, and this is huge, I can now turn on automations. I can set it, and forget it. Third, I do not, and you do not, have to open up an account today with money, but you can open up an account today to just lock in a rate. Now, here's what I love with SoFi Invest. My investments are working while I'm sleeping, while I'm recording this show, while I'm on vacation, while I'm living my life. Plus, SoFi is still hooking you up with amazing benefits. We're talking up to $1,000 in stock when you open and actually fund your account. And get this, 0 commissions on stocks and ETFs, fractional shares of companies starting at just $5, and that 1% match on recurring deposits with SoFi Plus. Listen, we got to stop overthinking it. I need you to go to anthonyoneal.com/invest right now. That is anthonyoneal.com/invest. Choose the platform that works best for you. But trust me, SoFi is the move. Let's build wealth together. Let's start getting our money working for us. As a matter of fact, let's get back to the show so we can definitely learn how to do that. But go to anthonyoneal.com/invest and open up your account today. Join me at SoFi. So you give yourself permission to prosper, not just survive. You build wealth with purpose, and you watch God move in ways math can't explain. So how do you actually move from saver to builder, from paycheck to paycheck to wealth? I want to give you a step-by-step, real quick breakdown of how I would do it in the year 2026. All right? Ready for the blueprint? Let's get it. Here's the very first thing of which I want you to do. All right? Step number 1. I need you to step back and I need you to get your God-sized goals and visions written down. See, the Bible is very clear. Where there is no vision, that's where people perish. I want you to get a big calendar. I want you to get a massive calendar. There's this calendar online. I forgot what it's called. It's called like Big A, calendar. Fill in the blanks. I don't want to cuss on my show, but it's a Big A calendar. And it literally gives you, it's huge. Put it up on your wall, and I want you to write down your goals, your dreams this year. Hey, you know what? How much money do you want to make in your side business this year? Hey, you know what? I would love to see an extra $20,000 from our side business, from our side hustle. Hey, you know what? I would love to pay off some debt this year. Hey, you know what? I would love to put, we got 2 months in emergency fund. I want to put 3 months inside of our SoFi high yield savings account. I want you to write down your God goals. Here's the difference between your goal and God-sized goals. Your goal is you can do that without God. Yeah. You can do that without God. God-sized goals is, oh no, I need God. I need God if I'm going to hit this. You see, when we can go back to God and say, God, I want to make an extra $100,000. I'm only capable of doing about 40,000, but I need some wisdom, some knowledge, and your touch on this thing if I'm going to hit 100,000. God, I'm going to try you. You said try you, God. I'm going to try it. If you're going to go from paycheck to paycheck to financial freedom, to wealth, to building generational wealth, you gotta include God in it. So this year, 2026, the very first thing that has nothing to do with money, I need you to sit down and get some God-sized goals. Got to get it. Step 2, you got to get out of consumer debt. You got to get out of consumer debt. This is when you use the debt snowball, not the avalanche. Start with your smallest debt, build momentum, and celebrate every single win. I have a free ebook that I want you to get. If you've never gotten this ebook, I want you to get this free ebook. It's called How to Get Out of Debt Fast. I'm going to have that link inside of the show description notes. Please get that book. It's about 45 pages long. It's going to help you get out of debt real quick. It is 100% free. We ain't selling you nothing. You're not going to get no crazy emails from us. We just want to give you this to help you get on a solid system to get you out of debt. Here's step number 3. You got to build your emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of net pay in a high yield savings account. Don't just park it. Make it work. All right. This is important. I just told you, having that doesn't make us wealthy, but having that does position us to have a solid foundation. Step 4, start investing in 12 to 15% of your income. Index funds. All right. Mutual funds. Start creating some solid investments. Start positioning your money to flip for you. So while you're asleep, you're making money. Step 5, which is going to be, I would call this really, no, not step 5. Step 4A, invest into real estate inside businesses. So you're going to put 12 to 15% inside of retirement accounts in the stock market. 4A is invest into real estate in some side businesses. Now, when we go to step 5, don't forget we're tithing 10%. And you're going to watch what God does. Step 6, I need you to automate everything. Man, ask the church, hey, is there a way I can just automatically just wire you all money? Or is there a way you all have an app that can just automatically debit my account? If I get paid on the 1st, can you automatically debit my account on the 2nd or on the first evening, whatever that is? Hey, SoFi, I want you to automatically pull out money to put inside my high yield savings account. Hey, SoFi, I want you to automatically pull out money, put inside of my SoFi investing account. Hey, you know what, Job, you all are offering 3% on the match. I want to automatically put 3% in. I need you to automate everything as much as possible in the year 2026. So you do not have to think about it. And here's step number 7, man. And I was just having a conversation with Christine about this, who did a phenomenal show with us. Give yourself permission to enjoy life. Listen, as you're following these steps, man, give yourself permission to enjoy life. You know what I'm saying? Like, enjoy life. Man, go buy you a Gucci bag. If you got the foundations and doing things right, man, go. Your dream car, go. Your dream vacation, go. You see, you move from just having to actually build wealth to now legacy, to freedom, and you're not stressed about, oh, can I do this? I'm telling y'all, man, one of the greatest feelings that I've ever had was I remember when I got debt free. Then I remember when I had 3 to 6 months of expenses at that time inside my savings account. Then I remembered saying, no, I'm ready for a house. But then my mentor, Dave Ramsey at the time, said, hey, keep your savings account, but also add extra to that for your 10 to 15% down. So I worked on that. When I went to close on my home, one of the greatest feelings I can ever remember in my life was when I cut them that check for my very first custom built home. And when I got into my house, when I got the keys to my house, I still had 6 figures in my account and no debt. All I had was a mortgage payment and still a bag in my account. I could go buy furniture. I could still go out and get me a steak the day that I closed. I wasn't stressed. Like, oh my God, now I got to work hard. I got to come. No. It felt good. And I gave myself permission to enjoy myself because I was on a budget. My expenses were low. I had a good savings account and I was investing and I was still tithing. Listen, I really want you to understand me when I say this. Being frugal alone will not make you rich. The real path is faith, action, and the first part of building wealth is literally that 22 to 25% rule. Tithe, invest, and build. That is the foundation. Tithe, invest, and build. I can't stress that enough because I see so many people come into money and they miss the key ingredient to building wealth long term. They don't tithe. They forget about God and they let everything else go, and then they're wondering, like, what happened to my money? Well, you didn't give part of it back to God, and you didn't show God that he could trust you with more. So he gave you that, but he let you keep all of that, but he ain't give you no more. Not the secret, because I don't believe in secrets, because the Bible is free for everybody. Tithe first, invest, and build. Listen, family, you have permission to prosper. You have the blueprint. It's your turn. In 2026, I want you to try the 22 to 25% rule for just the next 6 months. Tithe, get out of debt, invest, and watch your life change. Drop a comment if you're ready to build, not just survive. All right. Subscribe for more amazing information, as we're really going to be doing some major things in 2026. We have some major announcements coming up, and I'm seriously focused on helping you get in the black and out of the red. Share this with someone who needs to break out of this red mentality, or practically being in the negative. And I promise you, we're going to all get there. This is your boy, Anthony O'Neal. I'm going to see you in the next show. Peace out.